Hey guys, my name is Mooshroom Xpert and welcome to my How to Make Better series. In this series I'll take past seasons of Power Rangers and try to put them in a format that I think would suit most fans. My first series will be Megaforce and how I would showcase its first 5 episodes. Don't forget to check out my Patreon if you guys support any of my work. Without further ado, let's get right into the show. We start with episode 1, Mega Mission. Troy is sleeping on the bus and dreams of a great battle between many Rangers. He wakes up and sees himself alone on the bus, as the driver tells him to get to class before he's late. We see an intergalactic group in space by the name of the Warstar. They're created by the Armada, with 3 alliances, Airdra, Seedra, and Landra, but all are led by Admiral Malcor. They are insectoids, whose unity was the most powerful in the galaxy. They have been searching for a planet for Armada with enough resources so they can take over. They get a huge signal from the planet Earth, and Malcor says, "Lock on, I think we found our planet." Back on Earth, Troy reaches his class of biology and takes a seat, while Mr. Burnley asks a question. What is the strongest species on the planet? Gia says insect, but no one disagrees with Gia, barking back, robotic machines. As Mr. Burnley asks Troy what is his answer, as Troy replies back, humans. As Mr. Burnley writes on the board each answer, he says all these answers have a negative and positive connotation. As the bell rings, all the students pack up and enter the next classes. As Mr. Burnley tells Troy to get here a little bit more early to catch up. In a cave, Tensou, a small robotic comrade, starts zooming around saying, "It's happening." Gosei awakens and tells Tensou, "I feel it too." Gosei speaks again to Tensou, scan the Earth for 5 strong teenagers. But Tensou gets an attitude and says, "Why?" As Gosei says, "Do it." Tensou sighs and scans the Earth for 5 teenagers. As all the Rangers are in their last classes, the final bell rings as all the Rangers exit their class. Emma tells Gia that she's going to go take pictures, while Gia tells Emma that she's going to head to Ernie's brain freeze so she can study and catch up. Jake hears them a bit and tries to convince Noah to go with him to Ernie's, but Noah unwillingly goes with them. Malcor creates a monster by the name of Scaraba to check if there are any life on the planet as he tells Brock and Creepbox to stand by. Troy enters his karate dojo and puts his bag down near his locker, while Emma is out taking pictures of plants since she thought that was the strongest species on the Earth. Gia is at Ernie's and is studying on calculus so she can catch up to Emma. Jake and Noah enter Ernie's as Gia sees them then waves at them, but she goes back to studying. Noah sits down and opens his 3D editor and starts editing some projects he has. Jake buys 3 cones for all 3 of them. Suddenly, the 5 of them get teleported to Gosei's cave and wander a bit. They enter a room and see Tensou zooming around. They all get nervous as Gosei speaks, "Welcome, I am Gosei. My mentor Zordon placed me here to be a guardian of this planet. I am of the Earth and embody its great and mystical powers." As the room lights up and they see Ranger keys, put all in stone and behind glass rows, Gosei explains to them of the great danger and shows them a video of the Warstar ship near Earth floating around. Gosei goes through each person explaining their characteristics, starting with Noah, explaining how his technology and smarts would be perfect as the team's Blue Ranger. Then with Gia, explaining how her brave heart and attitude would be perfect as the team's Yellow Ranger. Then explaining how Jake and his strong strength but clumsy antics would suit perfect as the team's Black Ranger. Then with Emma, explaining how her caring nature and thoughtful mind would be perfect as the team's Pink Ranger. Then lastly with Troy, explaining how his determination would suit perfect as the team's Red Ranger and the team's leader. Gosei tells them that the Earth needs their help and without them, they could both be destroyed. Jake laughs and brushes them off as he heads towards the exit as Noah follows after. Gia says totally not while grabbing Emma's wrist and heading towards the exit. Troy thinks about it for a moment, then he followed the others. They walk for a while when they hear people screaming. They rush to the scene to see a bunch of Louis attacking people and nearby objects. Jake tells him Gosei is telling the truth. Troy says, "I won't stand here and do nothing." Troy rushes into the fight as Emma rushes in after. The last 3 finally rush to the battle as they all fight the Louis as a team, but get outpowered as they fall to the ground. Jake says, "I wish I listened," as Noah comments, "Oh really now?" Emma tells him that there's no time to argue, as Troy gets up and says we can't just give up now, as Troy sees a morpher appear magically in front of him. The others get up and see their morphers appear also. They all grab it and see blank cards appear, also changing into their colors. Gosei speaks to them through the morpher. Troy tells them to follow my lead as he gets ready with the Rangers and puts his card into the morpher. Then, they all feel their bodies glow. They all morph into their Ranger colors. Gosei explains to them that their cards are in their belt buckle. They open their belt buckle to see their weapon cards to summon their weapons. They defeat the Louis with ease, then set their targets on Scaraba. Scaraba, with more Louis, starts attacking other humans. As the Rangers defeat the remaining Louis and attack Scaraba, destroying him with the Megaforce cannon. They all return to the base as Jake says sorry to Gosei for not trusting him. As Gosei says, "Knowing you, it would have been weird to see you actually believe me." They all laugh as Gosei says, "Now we have our protectors." And Troy replies back, "That's right, but we're not going anywhere." Episode 2, Scientific Calculations. Warstar's scientific monster, UFO, is sent to study humanity in order to figure out a way that they should complete their plans more efficiently and discover ways to defeat the Power Rangers. On Earth, Jake and Gia decide to go to class to go for a walk, to get to know each other better since they're on the same team now. While the others are at Ernie's talking schoolwork, Gia says she needs to get something out of her bag, but sees UFO using his powers of the Airdra Alliance to check the planet. Gia shows Jake UFO flying around, and Jake says we should call the others, but Gia stops him and says we can handle this. They both head into battle as Goseiger watches them then morph the others. As the others reach Gia and Jake, they all fight off the Louis and UFO, but UFO grows huge as Goseiger tells them it's time to call their Zords. They summon their Zords with their cards, and then defeat UFO's flying objects, but notice that they need more powers to getting outmatched. Goseiger sends them the Goseiger Great Megazord card, and they form the Megazord. They all destroy UFO with their final strike. They all sit on a bench near the mall as Goseiger calls them to congratulate them. As Gia says she shouldn't have just fun with Jake. Emma agrees as Noah says 5 is better than 2. Troy says yes, but us 5 create one force. Episode 3, Effective Use. Jake brings his snake axe and a guitar case to use as a weight to strengthen himself. But when Noah has trouble lifting his axe, he starts to doubt himself. He goes for a walk as Goseiger calls his morpher and tells him that failing is a part of life, and that life is a mountain. You have ups and downs. While on the Warstar ship, Brock thinks of a plan. Brock sends Virak to infect humans with one sneeze, turning them into loogies. Noah thanks Goseiger as he sees people running. He morphs and charges in, saving a lady. As Noah sees Virak and tries to fight him off until getting beaten, but Jake comes in to save the day. As the other Rangers deal with loogies, Virak escapes, infecting one human, showing Jake and Noah his plans. Jake calls the others, telling them not to hurt the loogies, explaining they're actually humans. As Emma says, how do we fight them then? Noah says you can't fight them, you have to quarantine them. Troy tells Jake to take Noah and handle Virak, and that they will try their best to quarantine the infected. Jake grabs Noah, then goes to find off Virak. Troy, Gia, and Emma figure out a way to stop the humans from spreading the virus. Jake and Noah find Virak affecting more people. They have an intense battle as Noah gets hurt trying to pick up Jake's axe. Jake gives him a pep talk and Noah overcomes his doubt, then picks up Jake's axe. Noah hits Virak with a technical move, with Jake's axe first, then his bowgun after to hit his weak spot. The other Rangers reach up to Jake and Noah, explaining how they quarantine the infected. Noah tells them his weak spot as they all join together as a team to destroy Virak. Noah goes with Jake's axe and breaks the stone barrier, holding the now clean human. Gia tells him sweet moves, but before Noah can thank her, they see Virak go huge. They call the Zords to form the Goseiger Great Megazord as they get outmatched easily. Noah says I'm not done believing in myself, as Goseiger grants Noah the power to unlock the Sea Brothers card. Noah summoned the Sea Brothers, the Rangers forming the Sea Goseiger Great Megazord as they finish Virak. Noah is in class as he shows Jake his new axe, saying he changed the metal so it's 20% lighter, so he can hit his enemies more easily. As Jake checks it out and testing it, he breaks the computer by mistake. Jake says he doesn't think that he can get used to it, while Noah says, yes you can, just believe in yourself. Episode 4, Freezing Point. While on the Warstar ship, Creepbox thinks of an idea. Creepbox uses Sporadic to use his ice powers to freeze the whole planet and stopping all the humans from moving. As the Rangers are training together with Goseiger to learn their element cards better, Gia uses one of her element cards but it doesn't seem to do a lot of damage to a tree. Jake makes a comment as Gia gets upset and storms off, but Jake follows her. Sporadic starts freezing certain parts of Harwood County. Jake tries to explain himself but Gia says I don't want to hear him. They catch Sporadic using his strong blizzard powers. Jake uses blasters to hit Sporadic, but Sporadic tells him to butt off. Gia tells him to get ready for the land duel as they both morph to fight him off. Goseiger tells the others to catch up. They help the civilians get to safety. Then, they morph. But Gia tells him to worry about the loogies. Gia tries one of her element moves and gets hurt by Sporadic, but Jake rushes in with his snake axe to hit Sporadic in the back, breaking one of his icicles. Sporadic gets away as he needs to recharge his icicles. Emma puts a bandage on Gia's leg while Jake says it was her fault that the monster got away. Gia gets irritated as she walked away limping. As no one looks at Jake and comments, that's low bro. As Goseiger says, how would you feel if someone said that to you, Jake? Jake sighed softly and ran after her. Gia found Sporadic and duels against him. Jake can't find Gia but finds Troy, and Troy tells him, it's better to think with your head and not with your heart at times. As Jake nods and says, I just can't think without speaking. And Troy tells him, you're not the only one who's passionate about helping the planet. She is just as passionate as you, Jake. They get a call from Goseiger and she tells him that Gia has found Sporadic. He tells him that Emma and Gia are already on their way. Gia was fighting Sporadic and getting her Valley, but before Robotic can finish her off, Jake and Troy fly in to save her, just in time. As Emma and Noah fire their blasters, Jade says she will do this by herself. As Jake taps her head and says, "Not gonna happen now. We're a team." Jake calls the orders as they all attack his unit. While Jake starts fighting off-Robotic 1v1, he gets hurt, but then tells Gia to finish it off. Gia nodded and finished off Robotic. They call the Goseiger Megazord and finish him off. After the battle, Jake goes to Gia and tells her that he is sorry for being so hot-headed. Gia tells him to think with his head instead of using his muscles, as Jake nods his head and they both chuckle. Episode 5, Viral Rangers. Troy keeps having nightmares of a monster. Troy feels that he is not strong enough against this monster, so he decides to train himself. Creepox thinks of using Dragonfly to outspeed the Rangers as he tells Megaforce his plans. Megaforce thinks it's a good idea while Brock laughs. A civilian named Jordan falsely claims to be a Power Ranger, distracting the real one. Dragonfly begins to attack the city as the Rangers go without Troy to stop Dragonfly. The Rangers start getting beaten as Troy comes in, but still gets hurt with them. Troy focuses on the wind sound to figure out where he is moving and manages to get a hit on him. Creepox watches from afar as Jordan distracts the Rangers. Creepox swoops in and attacks the Rangers while Jordan gets out of the way. Creepox introduces himself to the Rangers as Troy charges the Creepox. Creepox hurts Troy until the four others save him. Back in the woods, Troy starts training the others as he tells him we gotta get stronger. As Jordan starts looking for them but finds the actual Power Rangers morph, as Troy tells him a few words of wisdom. As Jordan struggles and admits that he just wanted to feel looked upon. The other Rangers give him a lesson in wisdom as Ghosty tells him about another attack. The other Rangers rush to the scene and tell Dragonfly to back off the earth. Troy uses hearing senses and goes to attack him again, but Creepox stops him and laughs while saying, "Let me introduce myself again, Red One." The other Rangers stop Dragonfly from trying to attack Troy and then tells Troy that they'll take care of him. The other Rangers rush to attack Dragonfly as Troy pushes Creepox to another part of the parking lot. As they keep fighting while Troy asks him why he keeps invading his dreams and giving him nightmares, while the other Rangers take on Dragonfly. Creepox tells him that he wants a good rival and a good duel, that he's been so bored on this planet, but after seeing how he fights, he's intrigued. Troy says anytime, any place. Creepox chuckles as he slides his curved blade while saying, "One day, your neck and my blade." Troy swoops into the air and uses a move to slash Creepox. Troy says, "That one day isn't gonna happen." As Creepox chuckles before running away, your nightmare has just begun. Troy relaxes and breathes for a moment. The Rangers hit Dragonfly, then Jake gives him a pep talk while leading them. Noah calls in the Sea Brothers as they all hit him with the Sea Brothers blast as Troy returns injured. As Jake says anyone in my shoes would have taken that place. Dragonfly begins to grow as the Rangers summon the Ghost of the Great Megazord. They get beat easily because of Dragonfly's speed. Troy gets to exhaustion and passes out while Gio was giving a strategy plan. Jake tells Troy to hang back, that he'll lead the team. Goseiger sees Jake's determination and gives him the power to unlock the Land Brothers card. Jake used it to summon the Land Brothers. The Rangers form in the Land Ghost of the Great Megazord. They finish off Dragonfly. At Ernie's, Jordan confesses the truth to his friend. All of Jordan's friends leave as Jordan feels a sense of guilt as he walks to the counter. But Troy cheers him up, telling him that the real Rangers would have been proud of him. As a flying smoothie comes out of nowhere and Jordan catches it, while Ernie pops his head out and says "nice catch" as they all laugh together. Thank you guys for listening to the whole video. I know it was a bit slow paced at certain times, but if you wait for the long one, I think there'll be interesting twists and turns that we'll all like to see. Thanks again, guys. Don't forget to check out my Patreon if you enjoy any of my work. Comment, like, and subscribe. Share my videos while you're at it. My name is Mooshroom Xpert, and may the power protect you all.